Hi everybody, Dale Braswell here with our Wedgwood Weekly Update. So glad that you can join us here for some important updates and information about the ministry of Wedgwood. Obviously, things are changing in our culture and our society once again when it comes to COVID-19 and dealing with this pandemic. And so obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of question marks. We've been joking internally that it's like hitting a moving target, not one that's moving that you can adjust to, but one that moves after you fire. And so it's constantly requiring us to just be flexible and to be prayerful about how we move forward. So as of right now, I'm filming this video on Sunday, June 28th. As of right now, we are planning to continue to be in person on Sunday, July 5th, with our online options as well available for our congregation. But that may change, and so let me encourage you just to continue to be flexible, continue to be prayerful for our leadership of our church as we discern how to best move forward in all of this. But let me also just say this, just be wise and be mindful of what you feel like you need to do for yourself and for your family. If that is to join us in worship, wearing your mask and practicing some social distancing, we would love to see you. But if you feel the need to stay home, please do that. Know that we're not trying to create two different groups of people within our church, the pro-worship together and the people that want to stay at home and worship online. And so we want to, as we talked about this last Sunday, have unity within our body. And so let me encourage you to just be responsible, be mindful, and to decide best for your family how you need to approach each Sunday as we continue to work through this all together. Now, this coming Sunday, July 5th, will be a special Sunday in that we'll have Lord's Supper. And so we're going to have some very special communion packets that are self-contained with both the juice and the cracker so that we're not having to pass a plate with elements in it. Everybody can pick up their own. We've used these on our Friday night Good Friday service that we've done in combination with some other churches in the past couple of years. And so some of you are familiar with those. The other thing about this Sunday is that you'll want to make sure to pre-register if you're going to be utilizing our preschool ministry. And so parents, if you have a preschooler that you would like to check into our preschool ministry during our worship service, make sure to pre-register them by this coming Wednesday by texting the word preschool to our church team's number, which is 817-292-1400. And then the last big thing I want to just encourage you to be praying about in this coming week is our students. Our youth are going to be going down to camp at Riverbend Retreat Center starting on Monday, June 29th through Friday, July 3rd. And so I'm now going to hand it over to Mr. Patrick Lively, who is our interim student minister, and allow him to give you some just some things that you can be praying about and give you some updates on what camp is going to look like in light of all this for this week ahead.
Thanks, Pastor Dale. So this week, starting June 29th through July 3rd, we're going to be at Riverbend Retreat Center for our 2020 youth camp. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to just make sure that you're aware of and for really asking you to partner with us in prayer for this week. So the first one is that we have students that are going with us that may not know or have a relationship with Christ. So be praying for their salvation this week, for God to just for them to be able to encounter, to worship Him, and for their life to be changed throughout the messages and the time that we get to spend in God's Word this week. The second one is for reviving our hearts. So many of us have a relationship with God, but through all of this, we've come across different things. And so this week, we're asking for seeing that God will just move among us and for our hearts to be revived throughout this week. And so I also wanted to inform you of some of the things that we're going to be doing while at Riverbend. So normally at Riverbend, it's a camp where multiple churches come and be a part. Well, this year's different. We're actually going to only be there with one of the church, and that one of the church is running their own camp. So we are actually running our own camp this year. So we're putting on the worship, we're putting on the recreation, we're putting on all of the different things that go into camp, but we get to do that as just our church unit. And so with the advice of Riverbend and our staff, as well as medical professionals, we have an entire list of all the regulations that we'll be taking care of. So just to kind of give you a general idea of some of that, is that we will be having our cabin sprayed down every single day, and then we'll be able to be traveling in pods. We'll be wearing masks on the bus there and on the bus back. And so those are just some general ideas of what we are going to be, some of the precautions we're taking throughout this week. There's an exhaustive list, and all of these things are just being able for us to even go to camp this year. And so we're excited about what this looks like in the life of really our students and our leaders. So be partnering with us in prayer through this. And I'm going to pass this back over to Dale.
Well, thanks, Patrick, for that update. And yes, we will definitely be praying for you guys. And know that, let me ask all of you who are watching this to continue just to be praying for our church as a whole. And as we talked about this Sunday, as we finished up, or as we continued our series through Philippians, we talked about the importance of counting one another as more important than ourselves and looking to the needs and interests of others above our own. One of the best ways we can do that is through prayer, to be praying for one another. But let me also encourage you to not allow our natural tendencies to take over, where we circle the wagons and isolate ourselves, but continue to be mindful of how we can reach out and minister to and encourage other people in our church body. So thank you for your prayers. Continue to keep praying as we continue to walk through this crazy times together. Have a great week.